We are back with another episode of Prop Talk, your favorite talk show. Is this a talk show? Nah. Yeah. What's good, you guys?
We should clip that. Make that the new cover.
We're doing some chatting, and the hard part about that is I'd rather not just chat alone with Mike. So let's figure it out. Where is everybody at? Sorry, Mike.
This is just so unnecessarily rude. Curry from deep.
Here we go.
Oh my God, that was actually the worst one yet, dude.
That was embarrassing.
Yo, that was actually the worst one yet.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. You should, yeah. Take a lap. Take a big lap. Take a big lap.
You like these shorts?
Here we go. Didn't know y'all were on Twitch too. Thanks, Mikey. Of course we're on Twitch. We're everywhere. You can't escape us. You cannot escape us.
What up, P-Smalls?
We've got some more comments.
No problem, brother.
Dropping the K word in here. The K word is not allowed in the chat.
Kuzma.
No K words.
No idea what you're talking about, then it just comes up. Kuzma.
No K words allowed.
Mikey with the fit. Look at the Sherbert shorts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Look at these shorts, bro.
Put your leg down. Put your leg down before I lose my.
Check those out, dude. Check those out. Oh, spot up, Jay. Oh my God.
Maybe it's the shorts.
Where's the chat at, dude? Where's the chat at?
No, the chat's popping a little bit.
Ben Simmons from 3. Mets Rockies no run. A nerfy.
Ooh.
Jets rule for life. If you're talking about the New York Jets, love that. Who is our first point winner in the 76ers game? Bradley Beal's a value play, but Joel Embiid's probably a lock. I'm going to need Kuz and KCP to drop 40 points next game. P-Smalls, I put the over on Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's threes last night, and he went over 4, so.
Yeah, good luck with that one, P-Smalls. I wouldn't put my money on either one of those people, especially not Kuzma.
We have such a good little intro song. Shout out, Nate.
Honestly, I have to elaborate. Last episode, I was chirping a whole lot about this man named LeBron James, calling him a wussy wuss or whatever I called him. And there was a statement from a player who is taking the court tonight that basically confirmed what I said yesterday. The league is soft. Mike, why don't you take us to that player? What did he say? Did you agree with him? Let us have it.
Yeah, I mean, it was Derrick Rose. And basically the question was surfaced around, which, first of all, the fact that this question is asked in today's NBA is the first problem. And she said, the lady asked about Trae Young talking to the crowd and basically jawing back and forth with the Knicks players and taking that villain role. And do you see a problem with that? And Derrick Rose was rightfully a little bit confused. I was like, this is basketball. Yeah, dumbfounded is a better word. He was like, this is basketball. This is the NBA. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. I've played in games where people got drinks dumped on their head. Like, this is what we love. And then he said, but if you keep talking, you know, you're going to have to back it up. So, like that, and that is what the NBA should be. That's what the NBA should be. You should, like, Trae Young doing that. Why do you think Reggie Miller and the Knicks was such an electric rivalry? It's because every time Reggie Miller stepped on that floor, he started jawing. He went like this after the Knicks choked and the Pacers beat him in the playoffs. Like, this is what people love about the NBA. If you look back in the past 5 years right now to, like, most iconic moments in the NBA, there's really not that many moments where people are jawing and chirping, like, apart from maybe DeMarcus Cousins doing it in the regular season. But we don't have that energy in the playoffs anymore. Like, maybe Tyler Hero in the bubble when he did the snarl, but I need that back. I love that Trae Young did it. That's the NBA that I love, and shout out Derrick Rose for absolutely smacking the NBA in the mouth, calling them soft. He's like, this is so. He was like, I didn't know when the league got so soft.
And he said it with like the most like straight face, like he
like,
could not be bothered any less. That question was such a waste of his time, and you could see it on his face. He's like, come on,
it's like, hey, LeBron.
Me. But anyway, that makes me even more excited about some of the matchups that we have tonight, because there's one game in particular that we will obviously get to, but Hawks versus Knicks, I am so excited for this game. Like, I am really excited.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be the best series in the first round.
I'm very excited for this matchup. So super pumped. Can't wait. We saw the Hawks pull off a win by the skin of their teeth the last
Factual.
time these two teams played. So I'm very excited to see how the Knicks show up, turn up, post up, burn up.
Yeah, NBA.
Okay,
Knicks playoffs and MSG.
Yeah, we're excited. What?
Oh, Jeremy's got his jersey on.
Okay, Jeremy. But anyway, let's get into it. Jeez, I have a little frog in my throat, to be honest with you.
Go for it.
And I have a little. Check it out. I have a frog in my throat. Anyway, let's talk about this first matchup.
Let's talk about it. Wizards Sixers. Huge East Coast matchup.
Sixers. Okay.
Also, shout out the Wizards. They just put the first ever live sportsbook in a sporting arena.
That's huge.
Huge.
That's humongous.
William Hill.
That's humongous. I'm excited for this game. I think we've got a pretty offensive matchup here tonight. Lots of scoring to be had. And I don't know how I feel about betting on the Sixers sometimes.
It's a weird game, right? Because the Wizards are not a very deep team. It basically comes down to Russ and Brad. And the Sixers have some of the most volatile stars in terms of betting on their over-unders. Ben Simmons could go for 14 points and 10 rebounds or 2 points and 12 assists. The only consistent guys on the floor for props in this game are Bradley Beal and Joel Embiid, really. So it comes down to trying to find that value outside of those guys because it's the playoffs. And as we've seen every single game, someone new seems to step up for every team that you didn't even think of. Yep. So that's where that's where my head was at in this one. I was going, okay, for the team that I think needs to win, who's going to have to step up and have one of those games where you go, wow, I didn't even think of him to have a game like this. And that's where my head was at. Where was your head at when you're looking at this game?
I'm on the side, in terms of betting, I'm on the Wizards side of this game. And I am looking to those two players that you just mentioned. I'm definitely taking a look at Bradley Beal. I think since coming back from his injury, he's definitely reestablished that leading scorer role. And I think he does a really, really great job. I've seen a lot of people in the chats talking about Russ over on assists tonight. And I think that's also a great play because I do see Bradley Beal getting the ball a lot, getting a lot of opportunities and great looks to score. But he also has shown that he's very dominant under the basket as well in terms of getting those boards. So I'm actually taking over 35.5 points plus rebounds for Bradley Beal tonight. Because I think on the nights where he doesn't score as much, he's really showing that aggression on defense. So I like him to hit this over. I would say that he can. What was the line that we set for mistakes?
Over a half. Oh my God, there's no 0.5.
Yeah, he's out of here.
Wow, Nick, I would have smashed.
We set a line for how many mistakes Nick would make in this show. But anyway, no, over 35.5 points plus rebounds. I like this for him. And I would arguably say that he can hit this over in points alone. But we have seen him get a lot of boards as of recently. And up against this 76ers team, I don't know the exact numbers, but he performs pretty well up against the Sixers team. I think it's a good matchup for him. So I like this over for him, this player combo.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. You know, Bradley Beal's is one of these guys. He gets out of bed, puts his slippers on, and before he can even brush his teeth, he could give you about 35. So 35.5 is honestly good. When I was looking at the plays we sent Nick before the show, and I didn't look at the plus, and I saw, wow, Liv is not on a rebound prop. But then points and rebounds, there it is. And I think, this is a great prop. There's two guys that I just said that are basically the guys that are insurance, and it's Bradley Beal and Joel Embiid for these teams. Or if something's not going right or you need a spark plug, it's those guys. So love that. I'm on the same side. I'm on the Wizards too, and my thought process was I need to start finding value in these guys that no one's thinking about. The Pat Connaughtons, the Bryn Forbes, if there was even a line, the Dwayne Dedmans, like trying to figure out who's going to be the guy to step up and take a little pressure off the shoulders of the stars. So I went with Rui Hachimura to get over 12.5 points for two reasons. One, I still feel 12.5 is pretty low for him. In the four regular season games prior to the first round, he hit this in 3 of those 4 pretty handily. And in the last game, he got 12 exactly. And I think Washington's going into this game going, listen, we're going to need to take a game away from Philly at home at least once in this series if we plan to win it all. So here's the deal. We have to have people step up. And we've seen this Wizards team play pretty well when Bradley, Russ, and Rui are all on. So now it comes down to Rui, stay out of foul trouble and just put the ball in the net. So 12.5. I like this for Rui. I think he can get it. I hope he can get it. So I'm going to put my name on it. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Thanks.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Anytime. Yeah, no, I like this. I think the Wizards really have to step up. Like you said, I mean, I think tonight what I could envision happening is taking their best players and having them do a little bit of everything tonight. Bradley Beal can't just score. He's also got to get the boards. Russell Westbrook is going to be the facilitator times a million.
He's got to be the Swiss Army knife.
Everything. Rui Hachimura as well. Like, we've got to start using him on offense more than we did the last game. It's taking advantage of every player on your team has a different skill set. This Wizards team, everyone has to be on, and they have to take advantage of everyone's skill set tonight, because I think this is a team that we see relying on Beal and on Westbrook very heavily in a lot of matchups. But tonight, we're going to have to see those players like Rui Hachimura step up and be dominant on offense in order to hang with this 76ers team, whose starting lineup is pretty solid all across the board. So
absolutely. P. Smalls, I think that's a great way to look. And Sammy, I said that backstage on this show. I said Daniel Gafford, 8.5 points. I don't mind that. So that's pretty good. But I do want to talk about the most exciting game on tonight's slate that I think is the most exciting for a couple reasons. Hawks, Knicks. I mean, Atlanta, New York, the first game was absolute fireworks. Trae Young went out there, hit a little buzzer floater. And I think my favorite part about that game, Liv, is there's been 2 interviews to come out of this series that have shown me why I love the game of basketball. The first was Derrick Rose calling the NBA soft because someone had to do it, and I love that it was Derrick Rose because everyone respects Derrick Rose. The other was Lou Williams after that Atlanta game when Trae Young hit that buzzer beater. He said, listen, I talked to Trae in that huddle, and I told him, don't pass the ball. Take the shot. If there's one thing you shouldn't do, it's pass this ball. This is your game. This is your team. You're the cornerstone of this franchise. Take the shot. And I think the NBA has gotten away from just saying, put the ball in the best player's hand and let him go to work. We saw the Warriors in the play-in game try to force the inbound. Like, definitely Curry was not the first option, so that's why Anthony Davis got a hand on it and batted away. In the Laker game, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was driving for a layup before they put it in LeBron's hand to hit that three-pointer. Finally, we have a veteran who I love, Lou Williams, just telling Trae Young, don't pass this ball. Don't pass this ball. Yeah, live or die by your best player taking the shot. And I think those 2 of my favorite interviews to come out of the NBA this year, because I think that shows the personality of both these teams. And, you know, I love it. So I think this matchup is going to be great. But why don't you tell me what you were thinking when you were looking at these, when you were sneaking around in FanDuel looking at these props?
Well, just to kind of speak off of what you just said, I think the playoffs is really where you distinguish the difference between good and great teams. And I said this yesterday when I guested on somebody's podcast that it's in these moments, it's down to the wire at the end of these games that if I'm a coach, I'm thinking the ball needs to go in a veteran's hands. We have a lot of teams in the playoffs right now that are young, a lot of really young talent that's been electric to watch. It's been fun to bet on. But the reality is that as we progress through playoffs, it's these veterans, it's these teams that have those main characters like Trae Young that can get the ball in the final stretch of the game and make a clutch shot to win it all. Those are the types of players that you really want to be putting your money on. So for me, it's hard for me to not want to place my money on these types of guys. But I would argue that in this matchup, the reason I'm also very excited for this matchup is you've got a lot of those veteran players on both sides in these teams, especially on the Knicks side of things, which is why my bet is definitely on the Knicks half of the team. And I am going with Julius Randle over 9.5 rebounds. While I think it's there. The rebound prop is there. Although he is the scorer for this team, I have to point out that he's hit 10 plus rebounds like 55% of the time this year. That's like, he's like averaging. He's
it's
also,
like
a lot. He also averages around 12.3 against the Hawks. And last game he had 12. So
Cute.
I like him to get over 9.5 rebounds. I think because the Knicks are so great on defense, that's kind of how they can stop these great teams. He's going to really have to step up and do that. But I think this is a very relatively low number for him, and I don't think he has an issue hitting over 9.5 tonight at all.
Yeah. No, I think, someone's going to do it's got to be Julius. That's the thing about this Knicks team is that they're a great team, but every great team needs a great player, and he's the guy they shove everything through, so he's got to do everything. So, Love that. I'm on the same side. I'm on the Knicks as well, and I think I'm on the Knicks for a couple of reasons. One, New York doesn't take that smack talk. So if you think the Knicks are going to come out tonight and let Trae Young do what he did last game, run his mouth, and really just dominate Madison Square Garden, I think you're out of your mind. I think Trae Young's going to get met by a couple hard screens. I think if he goes anywhere near the paint, he's going to learn a little lesson. Because, listen, this Knicks team still has the identity of the old Knicks team. It's still the same franchise, and no one comes into Madison Square Garden and does that without getting a little banged up after. So I love betting on this Knicks team tonight because – the Knicks are not going to let the Hawks come in MSG again and walk away with a victory. They're just not. So I think Derrick Rose is going to play a crucial part in this game. So that's why I took Derrick Rose over 22.5 points and assists. He hit it last game. And I think Derrick Rose is a gritty guy, right? Called the NBA soft. And he literally in the interview said, listen, but if you're going to talk like that, like you better be ready. And Derrick Rose is going to come into Madison Square Garden and he's going to make it his again. He's going to make it his again. And I think he could get this on points alone coming off the bench. And also he's a guy that, listen, he's low-key one of the best passers in the NBA. So look for him to get these assists too. I think 22.5 is a great number. They moved it up 1 whole point. It was 21.5 the game before. Now it's 22.5. Let's get it, Derek. Just like this. Look at, oh my God.
Dude, are you effing kidding? Are your eyes closed?
Bang.
There you go. Thank you. I was starting to get embarrassed to
Bang.
Host. Relax your mouth.
Bang.
Jesus. Moving on.
Wait, do you want to hear how good I can do that one announcer's bang? You know what I'm talking about? When they hit the 3 and the guy goes bang. Mm-hmm. Are you ready for this? Okay. Ready?
I've been ready. Yeah.
Curry for 3. Bang! Sounded good. You know that was good.
Well, your mic, I think your mic's like a little low quality because it was pretty muffled. It sounded like
Mitchell. Relax.
Mitchell, I love you, Mitchell. That's it, baby.
Relax. Mikey over for 3. Bang! Sammy's loving it. All right, Grizzlies Jazz. Let's talk about it for a second. Here's the thing. Memphis is the city of jazz, and Utah is named the Jazz. So an interesting matchup just based off that alone.
No, this is not a history lesson.
Well,
stop it.
Jersey-wise, Memphis probably comes away with this one with better jerseys. Honestly, I'm going to be totally honest with you, Liv. I really have the least amount of interest in this game. For some reason, I really don't enjoy watching this Utah Jazz team. And for some reason, I'm looking at this header and I'm just going, I couldn't be less interested in this game. I don't know why. I literally don't know why.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I love the Memphis Grizzlies. I've got a little like angst towards like a little part of that organization. But the sad thing is, are you sipping your tea?
Yep.
Okay. The sad thing is, though, I do think that the Grizzlies could win this series.
Oh, I think so, too.
And that's what kind of sucks. But I will say,
shut up, Nick.
This series continues.
Everyone's getting so mad because Memphis is known for Jazz.
As this series continues, I think this is where we're going to see the difference between a young team and an older team. Because as that playoff pressure gets hotter and hotter and hotter, there's only so much Valanciunas can do with this young team to carry it through this series. So
Yeah.
You may see moments where this Grizzlies team starts to get tired as the series progresses, and guys like Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell capitalize off of that and go, here's our chance to stick it to you. So
stick it to you.
It's going to be interesting because here's the deal. John Morant had a great game last game. I still don't feel comfortable banking on him doing that again. I don't.
Very inconsistent.
Right. And you can't be in the playoffs. So I worry. But I do want to say that I think there are a lot of great Memphis Grizzlies players that are awesome shooters and they score very well. And that leads me to my prop, which is Dylan Brooks over 19.5 points. Listen, this guy is aggressive and he's a baller. I don't know what else to say. He's a baller. When I watch him on TV, I'm like, dude, he's killing it. So I love watching him play. And I think he's exactly what this Grizzlies team needs when there's a deficit or they're in the final stretch of the game and it's getting close. This is the guy that I would say, put the ball in his hands, honestly, over John Morant as well.
Yeah, Oregon.
His aggression that he shows on the court, drawing the fouls. I mean, he's playing to win every time he's out there. And I love that. And I think when it's in the playoffs, the more aggressive, the better. So I like him to be a big scorer in this entire series throughout every game they play, but definitely tonight.
Yeah, Oregon grad.
How do you feel about my prop, Mike? Quit talking about stuff that's not relevant.
Well, he graduated from Oregon.
Yeah, no, I know. I heard you the first 6 times, but I'd like to know.
Well, I had to look it up and confirm. No, I think, listen, Dylan Brooks, the Grizzlies are a team where everyone has to put the ball in the basket. Dylan Brooks is
probably in the basket.
It's probably the most consistent scorer on that team. And I think 19.5 is still a little low for how well he has been scoring the ball as of late. And it's plus money. So, get that juice flowing. I also took a Grizzlies player. I took Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. to get over 11.5. Nick, when are you going to put the thing up? I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Okay.
So wrap it up. Wrap this up. No, I took Jaren Jackson Jr. over 11.5 points. Listen, I still think they haven't adjusted to post-injury Jaren Jackson Jr. This is a guy that is a 3-level scorer that is, I'm pretty sure, almost 6'6", right, Liv?
Yeah, he's big.
He's a big boy. Maybe 6'4". I'm going to look it up because I don't want to be – someone's going to get in this chat and be like, who doesn't know Jaren Jackson's exact height? 6'11". I wasn't even close. Listen.
This guy's a monster.
He's an absolute tower. Now, but listen, Jaren Jackson, he's a 3-level scorer at 6'11". And I think that this Utah Jazz team will have trouble guarding him once he gets in his flow. Now, he missed a majority of the year with a very large injury. But listen, he's working his way back. He averages 14 against Utah Jazz, and the line's at 11. That still seems very, very low to me for a guy who I think can score at an insane clip. And again, the past 4 regular seasons before this first-round game, he hit this in all 4 of them. So it's just about him adjusting to that playoff mentality, and he's going to start turning it on, and they're going to need him. He's a big part of this offense when he's playing well. He likes to pull up the J and be like, Spligak, oh my God, I thought that was going to go in. I almost.
Don't put your hands on your hips like that. Don't. No, please.
You know my favorite thing in the world is when you play pickup basketball and everyone would be getting chews. I'd go out of my way to sit like this.
Were you trying to get your ass beat? Like, what's going on?
No, I'd just be like, I wonder who's going to pick the guy that's like leaning back with his knuckles.
Right. Exactly. Like, you're just putting a target on your back to just get smacked up.
No, but then I'd come in and I'd ball. I'd be like, oh. Look at this lateral quickness. You see that? You want to see me do it again?
No, I don't.
Look at that.
Okay.
Look at that. You think you can get by me that drop step? Look at that. So,
Sit down. Park it.
Jaren Jackson Jr. over 11.5 points. It's a lock. Shouldn't have said that.
Hey, Nick, fix that in post.
Yeah, let's fix that in post.
For sure. Okay.
Also, I don't want people to think I actually hate Nick. I think he does a great job. I just think the bit is hysterical whenever he messes up that I just yell. So, Nick, you're doing great. Keep it up.
Mike's always yelling. Relax. Okay. Anyway. Moving on.
Nick, that was really rude in the chat. Okay.
What did Nick say in the chat? Oh,
really rude thing in the chat.
Wow, you really did. He said a rude thing. Okay, we have a party prop, people.
I love that we both forgot about that from yesterday, and you definitely were mid-sentence about to give the spiel and just got cut off.
Like,
oh, look at that ice. Look at that ice. Ice check.
Oh, this ice?
Oh, the third ice.
That graphic is something, let me tell you. Party prop.
Party prop it.
Yesterday's party prop hit.
Smacked. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis from the free throw line. Smacked.
I'm scared to talk.
He's loving it back there. Now, the party
like
prop.
We've got a 6-year-old in the producing studio right now.
The party prop is undefeated as of yesterday, so couldn't be feeling better. The party prop is undefeated.
We're 1-0, so figure that out.
We're 1-0.
Yeah,
so figure it out.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good about it. I am.
Yeah, tell them what it is.
Party prop is not only a party prop, but it's also juicy.
Mmm. Tasty.
Ugh. Gross. Don't do that again.
I hate when I do that.
Gross. The party prop is Tobias Harris over 1.5 made threes. Spligat.
Spligat.
Yeah.
So,
juice. Ew.
What?
The way you did that is that how you drink your juice?
Yeah.
Do it again.
You got to put the pressure on the juice box.
You need to relax.
Listen, when I'm drinking juice, I'm getting max juice per suck. Look, this guy loves the juice. Look at him. He loves the juice. Who doesn't love the juice?
Okay, max juice per suck. If you're just now tuning in, do with that what you will. Anyway, Tobias Harris over 1.5 made threes. I love this. It's juicy. It's smacking. There's no handicap needed. It's smacking. After that.
Clip that? Somebody clip that?
Clip that for sure.
Chat, clip that?
Okay, yeah. So we're not even going to handicap that. Write it if you want, but
Yeah,
Mike just drained a 3, so it's going to smack. Let's recap.
Let's do it. Had a great day. Had a good breakfast for lunch. I had some leftover pasta.
Not your day. We're recapping the props.
Right.
Jesus. Wizards versus 76ers. For this one, we are both on the same team tonight. We are riding with the Wizards, and I am liking Bradley Beal over 35.5 points plus rebounds.
I like Rui Hachimura over 12.5 points.
For the next matchup, we have the Knicks versus the Hawks, which we are both excited the most about this one. For this matchup,
much excited.
Very much excited. For this one, I am liking Julius Randle over 9.5 rebounds.
And I'm liking Derrick Rose over 22.5 points plus assists.
Tasty.
Tasty.
Did you like that? Was that good? Could I do ASMR? Anyway.
Someone weird is going to clip that.
Probably. Grizzlies versus Jazz is the next matchup. The Grizzlies versus the Jazz before Nick runs his mouth later. I'd rather not hear about it. So I forget the V. It doesn't matter. Whatever. For this one, I like Dylan Brooks over 19.5 points.
And I like Jaren Jackson Jr., otherwise known as my new nickname for him, Triple J, over 11.5 points.
Bang.
Let's get paid, shall we?
And for the juice,
I'm
the party prop.
Every other episode, I'll bring it back.
Tobias Harris over 1.5 made threes. Did it just play? Because it didn't play on my end.
No, it played. Now you're probably wondering, are you guys gonna only have these 3 plays for tonight?
Of course not.
Let me tell you, we will not. Whoa. Okay.
Oh,
Smalls.
Of course. I got you, Smalls. It's gonna be nice.
God. All right, but listen, these aren't the only 3 plays we're going to be riding. We're also going to be riding exclusive plays. And guess what? Liv was even teasing some of them early on in the day. So if you still don't have the what? The Book It Sports app. What's the Book It Sports app? Let me break it down for you. The Book It Sports app is a free social media scrolling feed application, both on the App Store and the Google Play Store, where it is built specifically for the sports fans and sports bettors alike. You can do a couple things where, let me break down the most important. You can, 1, post to that feed your memes, your analysis, your literally anything you want that has to do with anything that you're going through. Maybe sports news, maybe a pick you really like, or maybe a player you like that's doing something cool. You can also follow your friends. You can follow some cool people like myself and Olivia Moody. You can follow the whole Book It team. You can even follow our producer, Nick Y'all. And not only can you do that, you can also track your action that you're placing at the sports books. And guess what? If you do that, your profile keeps a record so that Yale, not y'all. So everyone can know if you are legit or if you just cap at this whole sports betting thing, baby. And guess what? If you're going through a cold streak, are you kidding? Maybe a tough time. You can also buy verified picks from our Book It verified handicappers all on one platform. They sell picks every day. It's all free. And guess what? We're going to be posting our exclusives there all night. And we also sweat on there. So when the game's going on and you're like, what are Mikey and Liv thinking about right now? Tobias just hit his second 3. We're going to be on the Book It Sports app talking about it. That's
going absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, I like bonkers. It's a good word. This has been Prop Talk. I'm in the Sherbert shorts, and Liv was just doing her makeup.